back to Evil's Comics. This guy right here is Evil Mike, or Mike if you prefer, and this is going to be my review on Contest of Chaos. This is going to be the final part into this event, the last 2 issues we got. But before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe on this guy's channel. Hit the bell. You never know when I'm going to be dropping videos if you want to stay in tune to my reviews kind of thing. It's all free. Doesn't cost you anything. The like, the subscription, hitting the bell, none of that costs you anything. It's just interaction between me and you. So, little hindsight, all the artists, the colorists, letters, information will be down below. I usually do that when I do multiple reviews if you're interested in knowing who wrote or colored or lettered. So we're going to do Xmen Annual number 1. That is the next part into the Contest of Chaos, officially the last kind of, because every single one of them has been a duality contest between 2 heroes. So of course in this one we got Cyclops versus Captain Marvel, and this one is one of the kind of different ones. We got Cyclops. He kind of wakes up somewhere different, doesn't know where he is kind of thing, shouts out if anybody else is there, and enters Carol Danvers. Both of them remember, bits and pieces right before they woke up here, but they don't know why they're here, where they are kind of thing. They both, being masters of being in control of who they are, their powers, that kind of thing. It's a theme for both of them. But basically they start deducing where they are, why they're there kind of thing. As they're going around, they do find out that they're in Finland, Iceland, I think. And as they're kind of deducing stuff around, you can see right here that the actual town starts trying to attack them. They both, in the background, kind of mention this like dread and anger feeling that's coming from the town. Cyclops even kind of points out that it feels like it's alive kind of thing. Eventually at this point they both split up, and kind of being hard-headed, they both go in their different ways trying to figure out what this is. Carol Danvers actually finds that there's a magical bubble around the town preventing them to leave. She also figures out that it's magic. Comes back to Scott, and before she can even reveal that they're in a barrier, he reveals that he knows that they're trapped. She kind of wants to know how he knows they're trapped, because he hasn't, really done anything as far as she could tell. At this point, it's kind of like the city, the whole anger thing that they mention is bleeding into them. Carol starts, saying that Cyclops is a fake version of him, that there's parts that she feels that she would know better. She knows Logan, Jean Grey, and her dad, his dad, that kind of thing. But there's parts to Cyclops that is missing from her memory kind of thing. Like, she feels like she should know him better, and because she doesn't, she deems him to be some kind of imposter. And it goes back and forth with Cyclops. Eventually there's this moment where all of a sudden this wood comes out of nowhere and knocks Carol in the back of the head, and it basically starts them fighting, one-on-one. As soon as they start fighting, the pier around them starts messing up, and they literally, have to start jumping ship to ship. Eventually they do find out why they're there, and it's this little fish, and it's a catch the fish first and you win kind of thing. And at this point they proceed to do so. Carol Danvers mentions that if Scott goes for it first, that she'll attack him, and sure enough he does, and she does. And and at this point Scott, he's been trying to hold back his whole visor thing. We got Carol, she kind of flies into the ocean trying to get the fish. When she comes out of the water, the fish isn't there. Cyclops has located the fish kind of thing and is on the way to get it, and that's when Carol sees that Scott is close to getting the fish. She tries to swoop in. Cyclops has had enough, so he does unleash a blast. Carol Danvers mentions that he's kind of dumb for doing that, because she absorbs all types of energies, including his optic blast, and it just makes her stronger. At this point, Cyclops has been kind of holding back, and he mentions that he didn't want to do this, but he, eventually He releases, takes off the visor and releases the full blast. Carol takes it, absorbs all of it, of course. She just mentioned that she can do that. But it seems that Cyclops, it was part of the plan. He mentions that he knew that she could do this, that, even if they were to fight, she would just kill him, due to her energy assumption, and eventually explains that that was part of the plan, that he wants to power her up strong enough so that she can escape out of this magical thing. And upon hearing this, she just kind of gives up and deems Cyclops the winner. Cyclops does go out there and finds and grabs the fish, and as soon as he does, he's teleported away. And Carol is left there, still powered up, and she eventually releases it on that. It's supposed to be a magical city, but we know that it's not. But she basically releases it. They go into the scene where it's it's basically Peter, Jessica, and Chloe talking about the Darkhold and trying to find it. And we get this mashup of scenes of, basically Agatha performing her ritual to conjure the new Darkhold, because that's been the plan all along. We get this little scene here, and it's basically, Spider-Man saying that at this point they need to call in the Avengers kind of thing, and that's where this issue leaves off. Our next issue, Avengers Annual #1, the very last part into this event. And basically, it's just like the last issue stated. We have the Avengers that now have been called in. They have been given this location to where Agatha has supposedly, and the reason they find this out is because Chloe and Jessica Drew, they were able to, the last time Chloe met Agatha, she was able to put on this magical tracker, and that's how they tracked them. And sure enough, they're in the Bermuda Triangle. Agatha has supposedly used the Bermuda Triangle to hide her whereabouts, and it's worked this far. But now they know the location. As soon as they get there, they see that these ships are rising out of the water instead of, going down or descending in the water. They're rising out of the water, and the Avengers are kind of weirded out. They split up and each tackle a ship. There happens to be, a ship for each Avengers, member kind of thing. Carol gets there first, and sure enough, she runs into the Agatha Christie version, Agatha Harkness, version of Storm, and then basically the battle breaks out. Each Avenger finds, a different member of the chaos, and basically all chaos breaks out. At this point, while this is going on, they're trying to find Agatha, which they don't locate for a while. They don't know why she's not there, but all these other individuals that are basically under Agatha's spell, they're being hidden using by magic. Like Iron Man, he couldn't detect any kind of living members there. But eventually, during the fight, most of the Agatha's crew gets bested, or we don't see that version of the fight. We don't see Wolverine fighting whoever he ends up fighting. I mean, we do kind of see him for a second going after Vision, but basically it's like a spot in the battle kind of thing. It's not like we get to see the whole battle. As this is going on, finally we have Drew, Spider-Man, and Cleo that show up, and now basically they are looking for Agatha, and with them showing up, they have finally located Agatha, and she's kind of in the middle of that sunken, hole that's in the middle of the ocean. Captain Marvel rushes down there to try and stop, Agatha from completing the ritual. As you can see, she's in the middle of the ritual kind of thing. Eventually, through the fight, we got Wanda, we got, they all kind of go after Agatha. At first, Agatha does seem like she's going to, stop them and complete the ritual kind of thing. During the fight, the Darkhold is knocked out of Agatha's hands. It falls on the ground. As it falls on the ground, Carol Danvers rushes to pick it up, and deeming that that's gonna save the day. Wanda tries to warn her not to pick it up, and as soon as she does, there's this release of, we don't know if it's the Darkhold, Captain Marvel, or a mix of the both. But as soon as this happens, it kind of ends everything. The magical control that Agatha had on all the heroes, it dissipates. They all of a sudden regain consciousness. We also see that hole that formed around the dark hole that was in the ocean, it starts, sinking upon itself. So basically all the flying, heroes grab who they can to get away. Carol Danvers does manage to grab a hold of the dark hole and get it out of there before everything sinks. Like I mentioned, all the heroes start regaining their regular consciousness, not aware of where they are. The very last scene we get is all the the heroes that were involved in this kind of just catching up with things, taking a break. I'm pretty sure they're being filled in with the little missing time that they had. But basically the question still remains, because after the whole events, Agatha, she wasn't there. They couldn't find her. Wanda swearing that even though she has the dark hole, she still hasn't forgot about Agatha, and she's going to be looking for Agatha basically. We get this scene where Agatha washes up somewhere unknown on some unknown beach. She's trying to figure it out herself. She doesn't even understand, what's going on, but she swears that she did complete the ritual, and she's kind of upset because the book's not there. As soon as she starts questioning, where the book is, the Darkhold, we get this little boy that walks up to her, and she asks, "Hey, didn't your parents ever teach you not to talk to strange witch-looking women on a beach that just washed up on a beach?" And the kid's like, "Oh, I don't have any parents." And he mentions her name. He knows her as Agatha, and basically he states that he is her greatest, success kind of thing. And we see this. Basically, she was successful in creating a new version of the Darkhold, and this is the new version of the Darkhold. Whether it's a real person or not, that's not gone into or anything. But that is it. Basically that's where the contest of chaos leaves us at. Overall, the event was okay. It wasn't terrible or anything. I don't know what I expected from it. I mean, I did get a little of the versus, hero versus hero, which I was kind of, invested in this event. But overall, it was okay. It had great art through most of the, comics. I want to say it was like 7 comics that were involved, something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me. But overall, it was okay. It wasn't the worst event. It wasn't the best event. It does have some succession of moving forward because it has a question mark. Like they're going to use this kid that, that is the Darkhold now. He's going to be some strong power. I don't know. Hey, but overall, it wasn't terrible. It has some great art, some great covers. But that is my review on the Contest of Chaos. Let me know down below. First off, did you read it? Did you pass it up? Second off, did you like it? What did you think about it? What did you hate about it? I want to hear all that stuff. Let me know down below in the comments. I love reading that stuff, commenting back to it. I mean, that's why I'm on YouTube, to talk about the comic. Alright, that's all I got, guys. That is my review on the Contest of Chaos. Please comment down below, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Alright, guys, that's all I got for you. Bye.